Today I'm driving a car a lot of you might not have heard of. And naturally, we're all frightened of the unknown. So I'm here to shed some light on this new car manufacturer, which is a bigger deal than you might think. There was a time when we were scared of EVs, but look at us now. Electric car sales make up nearly 1/5 of all new cars sold in the UK. Today, we're not reviewing an EV, but I want you to keep that in mind of how impressions can change as we discuss the new Amoda 5. Similar to BYD, Omoda is a Chinese car manufacturer, and domestically they're quite popular. The brand is part of Chery Automobile, a government-owned company, founded in 1997 and China's 5th largest car manufacturer. The fashion-forward Omoda brand is aimed at the youthful middle to high-end market. Still in the early stages of their UK expansion, Omoda have only 2 models to offer us at the moment, the 5 and the E5, petrol and electric respectively. But you may ask, who are Chery? Omoda's extended family? Well, their first car hit the market in 1999 and it was essentially a badge-engineered Toledo. It was built by Seat and even used Volkswagen's A2 platform, named the Fenyoung, or for us Westerners, the Chery A11. But Duncan, you may ask, we've never seen this Chery A11. Well, that's because it never got past Jordan. Since those humble beginnings, the brand has grown to become China's #1 passenger car exporter, with operations in over 80 countries. But anyway, back to Amoda, a new brand, an expansion of Chery. And as China continued to grow in the world automotive industry, it's interesting to watch them rise. Now, it could be easy to dismiss this as another company jumping on the bandwagon, but they're doing things their own way. They have a full EV of this car, and unlike BYD, their counterparts, these guys are sticking by the trusty internal combustion engine. And if you like the rumble of an engine from underneath your feet as you're driving, well, the Amoda could be the Chinese brand worth keeping an eye on. And remember, you can find cars from the Far East, the West, North and South at Arnold Clark. With over 20,000 new and used cars online and branches all across the UK, there's something for absolutely everyone. First thing for us to mention on this car is the front end. It's quite big and it's quite bold. And the grille in the front here reminds me a little bit of a Range Rover, but a lot of cars now are giving us this diamond honeycomb, and we've got the chrome inserts in this as well. Remember the DS7? Hit the link at the top of the screen, you'll be able to see exactly what I mean about the front of that. But also recently, we looked at a few Renaults that have that same idea. Lovely chrome bar across the front with the name, big letters across the front of the bonnet there. This car is very much trying to grab your attention. Now, it's an SUV. People are going absolutely mad for SUVs now, and looking at this, you may be tempted to jump in and join the hype. This is the Noble, okay? It's top of the range and it's classy in all black. You do get different colour options with accents through the wing mirrors and the wheels. And speaking of the wheels, they come in 18 inches standard, but the Noble has an option to go up to 19 inch. Up the top, we have a sunroof as well. That extra light and space feeling that you get in the cabin. But I'll be interested to get in the back because it does look like it slopes. Amoda, it's on the back and it's also on the bonnet, so it's got it twice on the car. Is that required? Well, yes it is. It's brand new, it's trying to get its name out there. Kind of like when you go to a company lunch for the first time and you get given a name badge. Remember the BYD Atto 3? The interior was designed around a gym idea. What we see here in the rear tail lights is piano keys. And that's pretty cool when those light up. I also like the chrome insert that goes through the middle of the bumper and it goes round the fake exhausts. Cue the comments in the box. For me, fake exhausts are fine. Do you like them? Let me know. And it's got an electronically operated tailgate, which I think every car should have. I'm a big fan of that. Inside there, 307 litres of boot space, slightly less than its competitors, but for a mid-size SUV, it's still very, very good. First impressions of getting into the main cabin here is how comfortable and good the seats actually look. Now, both seats are climate controlled, as is the steering wheel in here. The steering wheel feels lovely as well. It's got just a nice size, fits the hands really well. Looking forward, we've got a 10.25-inch digital screen there. Now this car is voice controlled. We'll touch on that later on, but that's a really cool thing if you're into that. There's lots of storage in here, and there's also a charging mat for your phone right in front. Now, I should say this, that Omoda only make cars in automatic, although there's a button on the side which you can shift through that automatic gearbox manually. Your drive mode button's here as well, with a few other essentials, but it's just nice and clean. It's not overly cluttered. As I was saying, headroom might be compromised in the back here, but I have to say, I'm 6'2", give or take a few inches, and I've got plenty room in the back here for my head and for my feet as well. There's a comfortable place to be. And the quality comes from the front in towards the back. It's got the same comfortable seats, and it's got the eco leather finish on top. We have an armrest that's neatly tucked away here, and ISOFIXes neatly tucked away in the base of the seat. There's a USB charger there for you, and it's got everything you would expect. But if you're still not convinced, let's go for a drive. Visibility inside the car and comfort are two big things in Duncan's love list. So first of all, it's got a lovely steering wheel and comfortable seats. The nice thing about the seats and steering wheel is I can get them to my exact favourite position. I can get the seat low, I get the steering wheel high, and it just seems to fit my hands nice. They're also nice and smooth. I do like the leather effect that we have on them. Visibility at the front is fabulous. It's a very narrow A-pillar here. Looking at the back, it's a little bit less, but that's made up because it's so good out the front. Now the car comes with 3 modes, normal, eco and sport. You change it on a button down here. I've done most of my driving in normal just to get a general feel of what the car's like. Push the button, go into eco, you'll notice that everything's very subdued, relaxed. You have to push the accelerator pedal quite a lot to get the desired effect. Push the button again and go into sport, and you'll notice that it's the exact opposite. If you do the same effect on the accelerator pedal, it really has an urgency to get going. Now it comes in an automatic gearbox, but there's something pretty cool in it as well. There's a button on the side. You can push that and it lets you go manually through the automatic gearbox. So it gives you that little bit of extra fun and joy when you're driving. The overall general feel of the car on its ride with the suspension, it does feel quite soft and a little bit spongy, but not bad when you consider the type of roads that we have to drive on in this day and age. Potholes, you're looking for roadworks, there's various things that make suspension in some other cars feel that little bit too aggressive. This is completely at the other end of the scale. It's comfortable to drive. Another really cool feature that the Amoda 5 has in the Noble version, top of the range, is a 360 reversing camera, or a 360 camera. Helps you reverse into a spot. And I found a really busy car park here, and we're going to put it to test right now. So as we come up here, park next to the car, into reverse, and it pops up on the screen. Really good 360 camera from above. And then we go to a nice bay, which is empty. Clearly marked out by the lines in the car. Just like that. How easy was that? And perfectly parked. Next challenge. The Amoda 5's 1.6 turbo petrol engine delivers 187 horsepower and 275 Nm of torque and 37.7 mpg. This mpg is slightly lower than rival SUVs such as the Hyundai Kona or the Nissan Juke, but fuel efficiency is traded off against a much nippier launch. Amoda claim the 5 will give you 0 to 62 in a fairly speedy 7.8 seconds, against the Kona's 10.2 seconds in their 1.6 petrol equivalent model. In terms of price, the Amoda sits comfortably lower too, with prices for the high-spec Noble starting around £27,500 compared with around £33,000 for its Kona counterpart. £5 off? I'll take that, especially when you think about all the tech it comes with. Now the car is voice activated. Notice I didn't say its name, and I also didn't say, because that's how we activate the system, as well as pushing a button on the dash. So, hello Amoda.
I'm listening.
Please open the sunroof.
Opening the sunroof.
Hello Amoda.
I'm listening.
Turn on the aircon.
Okay, I've turned on the AC.
Brilliant. You can also open the boot by doing the voice activation, but we won't do that when we're driving. Now it's a nice car to drive. It's quite subtle. It's not barking orders at you all the time and flashing and beeping, telling you you're doing a lot wrong, which is really nice. It's a little bit reserved. And another key feature with this car that's really good is it gives you a 7-year or 100,000 mile warranty, which is pretty special when you think about it. There's only a couple of manufacturers out there that will actually put their neck on the line for that. A little bit of motorway driving is always good, especially when you get to use all the safety features that the car's got, such as lane keep, lane assist, blind spot detection, driver fatigue warning, and also the ghost monitoring system for cars around you on the actual road. It shows you where other cars are positioned. It's maybe sometimes a little bit questionable, but then you have to come back to one of the main things this car has. One of the main selling points in my eyes is the money you pay for this car, you get adaptive cruise control, and that is a huge, huge thing. For anybody who does motorway driving, adaptive cruise control is the future. Well, now that I've driven the Amoda, do I still have the same first impression? Do I have that fear of the unknown? Well, I have to tell you no, I'm pleasantly surprised. There's 3 key things that jump out at me. First thing is the price. Second thing is the tech that you get inside the car with the price. And the third thing, well, it's the styling. It looks fabulous. And that's that. It's easy to use, it's easy to drive, and it's easy on the eye. All with a price tag that's easy to swallow. Well, it looks like China have entered the UK car market, and they're very much here to stay. Let's count up the brands now. You've got MG, BYD, JQ, and now Omoda. But just because there's a new company in the UK doesn't make it a new company. Remember Chery, the parent dad company, they've been around for 27 years. Does that make it long enough to turn the Omoda 5 into a 5-star car? Only time will tell. The best thing to do is to get you guys behind the wheel. Head to Arnold Clark branch and see if you agree with me. Give us some comments in the box below. I've been Duncan Vincent. This has been the Arnold Clark YouTube channel. Until next time, Zai Shan.